Your husband is way more considerate than I expected. Seriously, I'm impressed.
You're not causing some kind of trouble again, are you?
Trouble? Oh, don't be so rude. I just asked for a little help, that's all. He carried some heavy bags for me. You're so lucky to have such a wonderful guy.
Excuse me? If something like that happened, shouldn't you have told me?
Why would I need to? Do I have to report every little thing to you? I was just grateful for his help. There's no need for you to make a big deal out of it.
What exactly happened?
Oh, it's nothing major. He just took some bags from me and carried them to my car. Oh, and we exchanged numbers on the way.
You exchanged numbers? For what?
Not a big deal. We just swapped contact info. He told me if I ever need anything, just reach out. Isn't that sweet?
Do you seriously think that's normal?
But what's wrong with you? Are you jealous? Upset that he's been kind to another woman? Relax. I don't have any ulterior motives or anything.
If you didn't, you would have told me from the start.
Told you? Why should I be obligated to report it to you? Besides, do you really think you have the right to control what he does?
Don't be ridiculous. Don't you think it's inappropriate for him to exchange numbers with another woman?
Inappropriate? No, I think you're just being overly possessive. I was simply showing gratitude. If you think that's inappropriate, then you're the one being unreasonable.
This is definitely crossing a line.
How? What if I just sent him a thank you text? Is that a problem too? Or is he supposed to be some kind of robot that only responds to you?
That's not the issue here.
Then what is it? He helped me and that's it. Unless you're letting jealousy cloud your judgment.
This isn't about jealousy. I just don't trust you. I'm worried you might be taking advantage of him.
Wow, you're always so suspicious. Do you want me to show you our messages? Here, most of them are just him politely listening to me vent. Nothing shady at all.
Vent?
Yeah, he's a great listener, and he even said, "That sounds tough." You're so lucky to have married such a wonderful guy.
Enough, seriously.
Why are you so angry? Getting worked up over something so trivial. Do you have no trust in him? Honestly, he's so nice that I almost want to talk to him even more. Wow, it's been forever. Charlotte, right? What are the chances?
Janet?
I mean, running into you here. It's like some kind of cruel twist of fate, huh? Honestly, I'm kind of overwhelmed with how crazy this is. Who would have thought something like this could happen?
I'm just as shocked. Seeing you here is so unexpected. I don't even know what to say. When I spotted you among the guests, I felt like my heart was going to jump out of my chest. This kind of reunion feels like a bad joke. And to think you're a mutual friend of the bride? It's unreal. My mind is spinning, trying to process everything.
Oh, trust me, there's more to be surprised about than just this. You're still on my list of things that blew my mind, so don't worry about being left out. What an entertaining reunion this is turning out to be. I can't stop laughing.
What's so funny? Care to share?
Oh, come on, don't tell me you're not aware. Have you looked in the mirror lately? You look like a completely different person, and not in a good way. I'm saying I was shocked by how awful you look now. I mean, you used to be decent looking, but now? You're unrecognizable. It's like you've turned into a pig since I last saw you. So what's the story? Is this the result of stress eating? Or did you just give up on trying entirely? Maybe it's because I stole your husband and you spiraled into overeating? Or is this supposed to be your new look? If so, your sense of style is beyond tragic. This is comedy gold. I can't stop laughing. I bet this would go viral on social media for how ridiculous it is.
Janet, it's amazing. You really haven't changed at all. Your nasty personality is just as bad as ever, and you haven't learned a thing.
Oh, please, don't hold a grudge, okay? John and I are doing great, you know. And let's be real, it's not like that was my fault. You were the problem from the start. I mean, what did you expect? A wife who can't have kids? Of course you'd get dumped. A woman who can't bear children has no value, right?
You. How can you say something so rude with a straight face?
Oh, please. I'm just stating the facts. Honestly, the real shocker is that John even chose you in the first place. It never made sense. Obviously, I'm the better match. But hey, everything's where it belongs now, right? I'm living the dream with my big shot husband, and you're left betrayed by your best friend and husband. Stress eating your way into becoming a bloated pig. Yeah, this feels just right.
You've always been like this, you know. You can't stand seeing others have something better than you. I never cared about brands or keeping up with you, so we didn't clash much before. But to have my husband stolen and then be attacked like this? I wish I'd cut ties with you a long time ago.
What's this? Sour grapes? Wow, the bitterness of an infertile woman is terrifying.
Don't get jealous just because you're a failure as a woman.
Oh wait, you're not even a woman anymore, and just a female pig. Losing your hubby must be so pathetic. But honestly, living alone in loneliness suits someone like you perfectly.
This belly isn't from overeating, it's a baby.
What? Oh geez, what kind of delusion is this? Gross!
It's true. Didn't you notice my belly? Or did you really think it was just from overeating?
Oh, I'm laughing because you look like you're pregnant. I mean, wait, are you serious?
Oh, you're finally catching on.
But who's the father? I already took your husband.
After the divorce, I went to an OBGYN. I wanted to start fertility treatments earlier, but John said it was embarrassing and too expensive, so he wouldn't let me. At the clinic, I met someone and we became close.
You met someone? At a clinic? Don't tell me, is he a doctor?
Well, since it's a doctor-patient relationship, I can't exactly shout it from the rooftops, but he was really supportive and kind, and, well, one thing led to another.
No way. You're telling me you're with a doctor? Why do you always end up with good men like that?
Who I marry has nothing to do with you. We're not even friends anymore, just acquaintances.
Don't mess with me. There's no way you can have something I don't. That's against the natural order.
Ugh, what are you even saying? So what if he's a doctor? He's the amazing one, not me. It doesn't make me superior to you in any way.
What nonsense. A woman's worth is defined by the status of the man she's with. That's why I took John from you in the first place.
Your values are incomprehensible to me.
Oh, don't pretend. You look down on me, don't you? That's why you seduced a doctor, to rub it in my face.
When have I ever flaunted anything at you? I fell for my husband because of who he is, not his job.
Gross. You and your self-righteous little speeches. Just you wait. Starting a fight with me? You'll regret it.
And what exactly are you planning to do?
Who knows? But you'll find out soon enough. A surprising number of men cheat on their pregnant wives, you know.
Charlotte, I need to talk to you. Is it a good time? I really need to tell you something right away.
What's going on? You sound a little frantic.
Do you know someone named Janet? It seems like she's someone you know, and, well, something's been bothering me about her.
Janet? It's been a while since I heard that name. How do you know her? You shouldn't have any connection to her at all.
Well, there's this woman who's been coming to the hospital recently, and she claims to be your friend. She goes by the name Janet. She doesn't seem to have any serious illness or health issues. It's more like she's coming up with excuses to visit. Every time she shows up for an appointment, she ends up talking to me for ages. She's mentioned you a few times, and honestly, the things she said weren't exactly pleasant to hear. At first, I didn't want to burden you with it, so I kept quiet. But it's been happening so often now that I can't ignore it anymore. During her consultations, she's been saying all sorts of negative things about you. At first, I thought she was joking, but it's gotten worse over time. And, this is hard to say, but if I'm not imagining it, it feels like she's trying to flirt with me.
Oh my god. So she's fallen that low. For her to come at me like this? It's the worst.
I mean, you're pregnant right now, and I don't want to stress you out unnecessarily, so I try to keep an eye on things quietly, but I can't ignore it anymore. I figured if you found out later, it'd be even worse. So I decided I needed to tell you.
Thank you for thinking of me, honey. I appreciate that you told me the truth.
That's a relief to hear, but I'm sorry for putting this on you.
Oh, don't apologize. I understand why you told me, and I'm glad you did.
So about this woman...
She's the one I told you about before, the so-called friend who stole my ex-husband.
Oh, her. How could you ever have been friends with someone like that?
She's nice and funny to people she thinks are beneath her.
What? Oh my god. She thought you were beneath her?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I don't want to say this kind of thing, but you're much prettier than her. And in conversations, she doesn't exactly come across as intelligent or sophisticated. I can't think of a single way she's better than you.
Aw, honey. That makes me happy. Well, maybe you're just biased because you care about me.
I don't think so.
But in the end, it doesn't matter what's actually true. What matters is who she believes is superior in her mind.
Oh, I see. That makes sense.
The moment she thinks someone might be even slightly better than her, she immediately shifts to trying to drag them down no matter what.
Honestly, she might be better off visiting a psychiatrist instead of the OBGYN.
You're probably right. Sorry for dragging you into this.
Don't apologize, but I'm worried. Getting targeted by someone like her isn't exactly ideal. If it were just me dealing with her, I wouldn't care, but the thought of her causing trouble for you or the baby is what scares me.
You're right. We can't just ignore this. Can I ask you to bear with it just a little longer?
Hey, what the hell do you think you're doing? You're the one who said all that nonsense to John, right? You're gonna pay for this.
What are you talking about?
Don't play dumb. You told him I was flirting with your husband, spreading all kinds of lies.
I didn't spread any lies. I just forwarded those embarrassing messages you sent to Oliver, that's all.
You've gotta be kidding me. Because of that, we had a massive fight.
Oh well.
What's with that attitude? I'm telling you that you caused me a huge headache and you're acting like it's nothing?
Well, it sounds like you brought this on yourself.
How dare you? What is this? Revenge because I took John from you? You're trying to break us apart, aren't you? You're such a pathetic woman. No wonder you got dumped.
You're completely nonsensical. I don't understand a single word you're saying.
That's because you're stupid. But too bad for you. Nothing you do can touch me. And by the way, your doctor husband, he's totally into me now.
Oh, really?
Absolutely. He even asked to change numbers with me. And you've seen our messages, right? I mean, you forwarded them to John after all.
Sure, I've seen them.
Then you know exactly what I'm talking about. He's already fallen for me.
Is that so?
It is. Honestly, this whole I'm totally unbothered act of yours is hilarious. And snooping on his messages? Oh, that's so creepy. Obviously, I'm the better woman here. So whatever you were trying to do with John, it's pointless. Even if we divorced, I've got someone better. Your precious Oliver. How does it feel, to lose two husbands to me?
I don't even know where to start.
Come on.
First of all, I didn't snoop on Oliver's messages.
Yeah, right. That's impossible. How do you even know what's in them?
Oh, that's simple. The person you've been messaging is me.
What?
I needed to make things clear to John, you know. I even considered recording the conversations during your consultations, but ethically that felt wrong. So instead, I asked Oliver to exchange contacts with you.
No way. You told him to do that?
Yes, I did.
No. Wow, really? Well, I had a feeling something was off.
Your desperate I'm totally unbothered act is hilarious. Honestly, it was disgusting. Did you send John those crude messages too, trying to seduce him? Both you and him falling for it makes me sick.
Shut up! Do you even realize what you've done? This is completely unacceptable. Pretending to be Oliver and texting me, that's beyond unethical.
And trying to pursue a married man isn't exactly ethical either, don't you think?
That's different.
Oh? How is it different? Not to mention you're married too. This isn't just unethical, it's outrageous. I'm technically the victim here, but I do feel a little sorry for you.
Sorry for me? What's that supposed to mean?
John's really sweet, isn't he? Always complimenting you as if it's second nature.
Yeah, so?
He was like that with me too, when we were dating, even early in the marriage. But over time, his behavior started to change.
What?
Maybe he's still sweet now, but let me give you a warning. He's an expert at emotional abuse. He tore me apart for not being able to have kids, pushing me to my breaking point. When I wanted to start fertility treatments, he called it expensive, disgraceful, pathetic. The happiness only lasted in the beginning. Life with him turned into a nightmare.
That can't be.
He's probably going to flip that emotional abuse switch on you too. Good luck with that. I don't like you, but as someone who's been through it, I can sympathize.
Wait, that's impossible. He's so in love with me, always praising me, making me feel special.
That's what I'm telling you. It was the same with me.
What's wrong with you? Stirring up someone else's marriage. Does that make you happy?
Coming from someone trying to pursue my husband? That's rich.
Oh, shut up. I'm not going to lose to you. No matter how much you envy me or try to drag me down, you won't win. You're so oblivious to yourself, aren't you, you vile woman? I've never met someone as nasty as you.
And yet you're the last person who should be saying that.
You know what? I'm done. It's clear that nothing I say will ever get through to you. Someone with such a toxic personality and such little intelligence won't ever understand reason.
Right back at you.
Just remember this. After what you've done to me, I won't let it go. Charlotte, long time no see. How have you been?
Yes?
I've got something important to tell you. Do you have a moment?
What is it?
Guess.
Oh, stop being so dramatic and just say it already.
Oh, I don't know. Should I? But it might be too much for you to handle.
Ugh, I hadn't heard from you in a while, so I thought maybe you'd finally moved on. What is it now?
Do you remember what happened recently? You treated me horribly and pissed me off?
I'm sure that's how it looks in your head.
I can't let it slide, you know. I swore I'd make you pay. And now...
What?
Ready? I'm pregnant with John's child.
Okay.
So, how does it feel? Are you so upset you can't even speak? It must sting, doesn't it?
Is that all?
What do you mean, is that all?
Did you honestly think that would hurt me?
What are you talking about? I did what you couldn't. I'm carrying John's child. You're just pretending it doesn't bother you, but deep down you're furious. You're so fake, it's disgusting.
How self-centered do you have to be to think like that? I really don't care.
What kind of response is that? If you're upset, just admit it.
I told you, I don't care. Actually, yes. A new life is involved, so it's not that I don't care. Congratulations on your pregnancy. I can't stand you, but I'll genuinely celebrate that for you.
You've got to be kidding me. How much more are you going to insult me before you're satisfied?
How is congratulating you an insult? Your sense of logic is baffling. But anyway, you're pregnant with John's child.
Oh, so you are upset.
No, I'm really not.
Don't lie. Of course you're upset. You had to go through fertility treatments just to get pregnant, didn't you? Meanwhile, I got pregnant effortlessly, without lifting a finger. That alone proves I'm better as a woman than you, doesn't it? Having to rely on fertility treatments to have a child? Pathetic. Oh, how sad. I almost feel sorry for you.
I'm telling you, I'm not upset. And for the record, I didn't even go through fertility treatments.
Oh, come on, stop lying. You went to see a doctor, didn't you? That's where you met that loser husband.
Loser husband? Yes, I did meet him at the clinic, but my tests showed no issues. I didn't need any treatment. And I got pregnant with Oliver's child naturally.
Yeah, right. That's impossible. You were struggling with infertility for so long.
True, but the tests showed I wasn't the problem. Honestly, I think the issue might have been with John.
What the hell? Don't you dare say something like that. That's ridiculous. John said you were a failure of a woman because of your infertility.
Then maybe he was a failure of a man with infertility himself.
Ugh! Calling him a failure as a man? How could you say something so rude?
I was just repeating the kind of things you've said about me. And weren't you just calling Oliver a loser a moment ago?
Oh, don't try to justify yourself. You and your husband are trash, plain and simple.
Well, sometimes it's just about compatibility or timing, you know.
Exactly. So don't go around insulting John without proof.
Then stop insulting us too.
What? The fact that you guys are trash is just the truth. What's wrong with stating facts?
Okay. Honestly, whatever. So what's your point?
What's my point?
Do you really not have any suspicions?
What are you talking about?
I mean, is there a chance the baby isn't John's?
What are you...
Judging by your reaction, it seems like there might be.
What? No way.
Unbelievable. I figured you might pull something like this, but still.
Oh, stop it. It's not like it's been confirmed that it's not his baby.
But you do have an idea, don't you?
Well...
Both of you? Seriously?
Both? What do you mean by that?
Didn't you say it yourself? A lot of men cheat while their wives are pregnant.
What's that supposed to mean? Are you implying...
Oh, your guess is spot on. I heard from someone I know. He's having an affair with one of his colleagues.
What?
Apparently, it's been going on even before you got pregnant.
No. John? That bastard.
Do you really think you have any right to be angry?
At least my affair hasn't been exposed. If it hasn't been discovered, it's like it never happened.
Wow, you really are self-centered to the core. Though I think it's only a matter of time.
Yeah, right. I'm not careless enough to leave evidence lying around.
But what if he decides to get a fertility test or a DNA test on the baby?
What are you saying? He'd never do such things.
What if I tell him everything we discussed here?
Oh, no, you wouldn't. You wouldn't actually do that, right?
Why wouldn't I?
Don't you dare. If you do that, it'll ruin everything for me.
Exactly. Which is why I'm going to tell him.
What? Why? What do you even gain from doing something like this?
This isn't about gain or loss anymore. Honestly, you're the kind of person who causes harm just by existing. So it's ironic for you to talk about gain.
That's so mean. Why do I have to be insulted like this? What did I even do to you?
Oh, let's see. Cheating, spewing insults, and so on.
You're holding a grudge over such trivial things? Oh, don't be so petty.
A grudge? At this point, it's so absurd it's almost funny.
Whatever. Just don't do anything ridiculous, okay?
Oh, sorry.
What?
I already sent the screenshots.
No way. You're awful. What on earth do you think you're doing? I can't believe you, Charlotte.
It's been a while, Janet. How are you doing? It seems like things have gotten pretty messy for you. Since you stopped contacting me, my life has been wonderfully peaceful. Ironically, I have you to thank for that.
This isn't the time for sarcasm. Do you even understand the mess I'm in right now?
Oh, I've heard the rumors. John had a fertility test and was diagnosed with azoospermia, right? And you still insisted the baby was his. But the chances were practically zero, and the DNA test confirmed it wasn't his. It's not just that. There's talk that no one even knows who the father is. Janet, how many men were you involved with?
Stop it!
Normally, this would make John the victim here, but since he was also cheating on you, it's a mess on both sides. I hear he's been spiraling since getting fired from his job.
Enough! What's the point of saying all this now? It doesn't change anything.
But what about you? I heard you're about to be cut off by your parents. How does it feel to be treated so coldly?
If you know that, then help me.
Oh, why on earth should I help you?
Why not? Half of the reason I'm in this situation is because of you.
And the other half?
John, obviously. It was a mistake to be fooled by a jerk like him. Why am I surrounded by such terrible people?
Even now you're blaming everyone else. You're truly hopeless.
It's not about blaming, it's just the truth.
Oh, is that so? If things are that hard, why don't you let your parents take the baby? Did they offer to take him in?
No way! I'm not giving Kai to anyone.
I see. Even someone like you have maternal instincts, I guess. That's reassuring, at least.
What are you even talking about? I couldn't care less about this kid, whose father I don't even know.
Excuse me? What does that mean?
He cries nonstop, he's loud, and he's not cute at all.
Are you seriously saying this? Then why won't you let him go?
Because having him benefits me, obviously. I get child support, my parents send me money for their grandchild, and if I tell them I can't afford formula, they transfer me even more. Why would I give up such a convenient arrangement?
Oh dear. Are you even a mother?
Oh, shut up. What about you?
What about me?
You're really not going to help me? Well, if this keeps up, Kai might end up in a pretty bad situation, don't you think? I'm so stressed every day. I don't know what might happen if this goes on.
You're using your baby as a bargaining chip? Ugh, unbelievable.
That's my line. After everything you've done to me, no remorse, no apology. How do you sleep at night?
You. No, wait. Maybe you're right about all of it. I was wrong.
Oh, finally you get it. Took you long enough, you idiot.
Yes, I'm sorry. You must be exhausted, right? Why don't you take a week off and go on a little vacation to relax?
A vacation? I don't have that kind of money.
Oh, don't worry about the cost. As an apology, I'll cover it for you.
Seriously?
Of course.
Looks like you're finally understanding your place.
I'll take care of Kai while you're away. Go blow off some steam.
Charlotte, that was amazing. I had so much fun, I almost feel guilty about it.
I'm fully satisfied now. I even maxed out my credit card. Did you feel refreshed?
Kind of, yeah. You know, this should be a regular thing. Once a month, maybe. And of course, you'll cover it, right? As an apology for everything. Anyway, just transfer the money into my account, okay?
Sure. I'll transfer $50.
$50? What the hell?
It's for the trip.
You've got to be kidding me. That's nowhere near enough. I spent thousands.
Not my problem.
What? What do you mean, not your problem? You said you cover it, so I
said I'd pay $50. I never said I'd cover the whole thing.
Stop joking around. What am I supposed to do now? I'm already struggling to make ends meet, and now this?
Again, not my problem.
Do you even realize what this will lead to? Poor Kai. If something happens to him, it'll all be your fault.
Oh, don't worry. He's safe now. Your parents have taken full responsibility for raising him.
What are you talking about?
For their grandson's sake, they even moved to a new place. They decided that having you around would only harm his development.
No way. This has to be a joke.
Unfortunately for you, it's not. They also said they've completely cut ties with you. They're dedicating themselves to raising him.
This can't be happening. This is practically kidnapping. He's my child. He's mine.
Oh, it's not kidnapping. This was an official decision made by the authorities.
The authorities? What does that mean? Explain.
While you were off enjoying your vacation, I contacted Child Welfare Services. I reported all your irresponsible behavior and your inappropriate treatment of Kai. After reviewing everything, they deemed you unfit to be a mother.
No, that can't be. This isn't allowed. It's not fair.
This is your reality now. You won't be receiving child support anymore. Your parents have decided to cut ties completely, and their financial support is gone. And of course, there's no way I'd ever help you.
Why? Why go this far? What did I ever do to you?
Well, it's a long list, but let's see. Cheating, spewing insults, using your child as leverage to squeeze money out of people. Maybe it's time you reflect on your actions.
This can't be true. I'm not that bad. It's everyone else who pushed me into this. It's their fault, not mine.
Are you seriously still saying that? Do you not see how selfish you've been? At least now Kai will be safe and have a chance at a happy life. That's all I care about.
And this is all your fault. How could you do this to me? I'll never forgive you.
You're free to feel however you want. But before you lash out at others, maybe take a moment to think about the mistakes you've made. And one last thing. This was the best decision for Kai. That's what truly matters. Janet became desperate to get Kai back, but it wasn't out of love as a mother. It was simply her clinging to the loss of something she viewed as a convenient tool. She even talked about hiring a lawyer to file an appeal against the authorities, but her past actions turned out to be her biggest obstacle. The records of her abusive remarks and the reports filed with child welfare services were so damning that even her lawyer gave up. On top of that, she was drowning in credit card debt and had no resources to fight a legal battle. Ironically, the extravagant spending on that trip proved to be her downfall. A few years later, I happened to see her on the street, but to be honest, I didn't recognize her at first. Her skin was rough, her hair was a tangled mess, and she looked like she hadn't bathed in days. Her clothes were visibly worn, and her shoes were so tattered that the heels were worn down and had holes in them. It was clear her diet had been poor as well. I heard rumors that she hadn't been able to find steady work and was barely surviving on a mix of part-time jobs and welfare. Even then, her life was chaotic, riddled with trouble. She became so notorious that her name reportedly ended up on an administrative blacklist. In the end, she never got to see Kai again. Meanwhile, Kai has been growing up happily with his grandparents. I visit them sometimes to help out, and his smile is just so sweet. I truly hope he continues to live a happy life. As for me, I've been enjoying a peaceful life with my family and the people around me.
Thank you for watching. Please rate the video and subscribe to our channel. See you in the next video.